Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to a video I've been wanting to make for a while. Introduce myself real quick. My name is Alex. I've been living in Paris for a little over 2 years in total now. And I've been asked by a lot of people that I know, how has it been to live in Paris? Is it really a dream every day? Is it always like fairy tale? Is it people there, like how they say, like disrespectful or a little bit too rude? All these questions I've been asked, like which zone is the best? Which are the best places for restaurants and all that? And I really don't like what I've seen some people in YouTube say about Paris, that every day you're here and every day excited and every day you're gonna walk around, you're gonna be like, oh, it's fucking Paris, you know, the city of love. No, it's not like that at all. It's a city, and it's a city where people are always in a kind of like a big city rhythm that you kind of need to get here as well, and this is no exception. This video is titled Paris in all honesty. Why is it titled that? I wanted to make an exception to the videos that you've seen before. Oh yeah, you just come here and it just works. It just works. Because it just doesn't sometimes. City life is not the same as a tourist life. This is for a lot of people, the biggest misconceptions is that they come here as a tourist and they don't understand that the tourist life is very nice here. Be as a tourist in Paris, very nice. Or it's not nice, and then you have your answer. But it's really nice, and then you come live here and it's a whole different ball game in the daily life that you're going to run into, and they're going to become a problem, and they're going to become slowly a small problem, but slowly like catch like this snowball effect. It's going to grow, and then it's going to cut into your daily life, and then it's going to become a problem on your health, your mental health. As from my experience living here, what it's been like, and what I've done, and how I've adapted or how I have not adapted to certain aspects of the city. There are arrondissements in Paris, the little neighborhoods in Paris. So if you don't know Paris is a city plan is like a spiral, and it goes like that, and it goes like that, and it goes to 20 neighborhoods, from 1 to 20, and it's called arrondissements. And these arrondissements are, the neighborhoods change a lot through Paris. They really are important to know because they do change a lot the vibe. So one day you can be in Paris, and one day you can be in the 7th arrondissement, and then the next day you can be in the 10th, and you may really like the 7th, and you might not really like the 10th. So you don't really know why. Well, because the neighborhoods change a lot, and the people that live in each neighborhood really change like a lot. So usual recommendations are the ones that you're going to have to visit, because it's probably the most tourist arrondissements in Paris. Now, the one that's going to recommend the most, obviously, the 7th. The 7th arrondissement Paris is where the Eiffel Tower is located. Yeah, you're going to have to go there, and you're going to have to see it. And the first one, obviously, the Louvre. But yeah, this is where you have the Louvre, and you have the Tuileries in the park, where you have, that's in front of the Louvre, and you have pretty much the most complete aspect of the city. You have the museums, and you have the lifestyle, and then you have the 18th, and the 18th is a Sacré-Cœur. Now this one is also recommended to the people that are tourists in here. These are the ones that I will not recommend. I personally do not like the 18th, 19th, 20th. What kind of easy to say? Yeah, what kind of easy to say? Kind of a safe answer. Oh, you don't like the ones that are on the outside. Now, why don't I like this 18th and why I don't recommend is simply due to the fact that it's just not nice. It's just not nice. You can go see the Sacré-Cœur if you want, like one day, but just see that. The 18th arrondissement and the 19th and 20th arrondissement are crawled with spaces that are just not nice to the eye. This is where it promulgates the most, where it resides the most. You're gonna see people that are in the little dangerous aspect, because these are the arrondissements are the most dangerous in Paris by far. Around Paris where I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe walking around, and I am from Mexico, and that's saying a lot. It's just not the best to visit. I think it's the 2nd and the 4th arrondissement are not really nice in a way that when there's a lot of people in Paris, it really feels like there's a lot of people. It's literally sometimes in the 4th, which is the Marais, so crowded that it's literally hard to walk around. Not even like drive. Walking around just gets complicated. And this could be in the high tourist season, or this could be in a regular Saturday. I recommend you come like on a Monday, Tuesday, or something like a weekday, maybe not Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, obviously. Now, there are some arrondissements that are my personal favorites, and I would recommend the 8th arrondissement is the one that I would recommend first, because this is where you have the Champs-Élysées. It's my personal favorite since I moved here, and I would recommend this just because of the Champs-Élysées elegance. It's just the elegance of Paris where you have it here, but you have it in the tourist basic form. In the 8th arrondissement, there's a lot of old nightlife places. If you're planning to party in the Champs-Élysées, in the 8th arrondissement, because it does get a little bit expensive, that I recommend personally. But the 16th arrondissement is where you have Trocadero, which is in front of the Eiffel Tower, so the most iconic photos, the most iconic shots in movies. So I would recommend the 16th just for a calmer vibe of the city. This is where you have great bars, you have great times in here, and you got great buildings and all that, and restaurants are nice here as well. And you have the soccer team, PSG, the football team, PSG, there as well. And the 5th arrondissement is one of my personal favorites. It was my personal favorite when I came. Latin Quarter, the Quartier Latin. The life of the night city is in the 5th arrondissement, in the Latin Quarter. This is where you could have arguably the most fun. If you're a man or a woman looking for a bar that is just gonna have like party, and the nightlife is gonna be fun, and it's gonna be different, and you're gonna have like a little feeling of the Latin music sometimes, and you have like cool music. This is where you're gonna find it the most, and they're all having a great time here. And you have a budget and everything. It's not really expensive. Talking about the people in Paris, it's kind of complicated. Forward rudeness that you'll find in persons ever.
How did you know I'm American? Is my accent that bad? We're dressed the same. There's no reason to attack me.
Are kind of like this stereotype where it's just kind of rude, but not in a rude to hurt way, just kind of rude to be the most straightforward. And they really don't hide anything in their face.
Do you know anything about French vanilla?
I think the French are cowards.
So,
I like to kiss.
You go on the metro, and if you walk anything slower than 15 kilometers per hour, they'll get pissed off very easily.
Tu nettoies! Tu nettoies! Pas de violence, Olivier.
I've heard this a couple of times when I was starting to get used to the life, and I heard a lot of people go like, oh, and like, oh, you know? And like when you don't know your way and you're kind of learning your ways, and they go like, tourist, fucking tourist.
People are rude in France, man. I said hello to a guy, he said no.
They have no patience here a lot of times. Do not like get bothered easily. That's one of the first things that I would recommend you, because people here are going to test you in the ways that they're just so passive aggressive sometimes, where you're just gonna be like, dude. I personally laugh a lot when this happens. For me, it's just funny. It's not even like I'm not laughing at the person. It's just funny to me when people are like, I'm just looking for something and I'm kind of taking my time. I don't get bothered usually. Like if I'm in the metro and like people are like in a rush or something, I just kind of move out the way.
No, I can't laugh yet. I've got to hold it in.
But sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes you just being there and not knowing your way. Sometimes that's enough for them to get triggered or to get like flustered or to get annoyed. Now there's a couple of times where I've gone a little frustrated and I might have exchanged a few words, but nothing serious. Traveling the metro is very important in Paris to understand. It is the optimal way to get around Paris. It's just this, because you really do get there in time. This is excluding, obviously, the times where the metro is not working, where the metro does not work sometimes.
Paris Metro workers have walked off the job. It's over plans for a major overhaul of the pension system, sparking huge traffic jams.
You try to use the metro, really learn where you have to stop and everything, because that is going to come a long way. Bumping shoulders with the locals, you know? If you're a person that does not like to be pushed, or that you get your buttons pushed really easily, then I would probably recommend you take Uber for rent and all that. That's this whole other video that I could make, because it's just crazy. To rent here something, it's just a lot of work. And depending on where you're staying, where your hotel is, as a tourist, I do think Paris is very, very beautiful. there's nothing better in Paris than a short time. Because a short time is a good time here. This is why I tell my girlfriend all the time. But a short time is better because you don't really get to get into the frustrations of the city, which come with the daily life. Like the metro, like the people, or sometimes people are just having a bad day and you can feel it, and then they just tell you to your face, you know? And you're not really the problem. You're just like the one that they fester their emotions in. The restaurants here really do vary, but as a tourist, you find a couple of restaurants in the most touristy places, and they'll be fine. They'll be fine. You won't get the best meal of your life, but you won't get the worst meal. And there are a lot I personally recommend, not for the food, but for the experience. A famous one that I recommend a lot for the experience, for the walking and for shopping, whatever, is L'Avenue, which is a restaurant in the middle of the Avenue Montaigne, which is one of the most famous avenues in Paris, where you have all the high luxury stores and everything. This is very nice to walk around, especially during festive seasons like Christmas. You have all the lights and it's very pretty, and you have like at the end you have the tower and you have a very nice view of the Eiffel Tower, and across you have the Seine River where you can take very, very nice photos. Even not the best photos on the Eiffel Tower. You have to be careful with going to restaurants in the touristic places, because here the restaurants do get really obnoxiously expensive, and the food sometimes is just very mediocre. That's not good. They said market price. What market are you shopping at? Yeah, it's just like you get a bad experience out of it. So I would recommend not really eating in the high touristy places, but if you have to and just want to, just something good and tiny and something that, go for the safe choice. If you see, the pigeon à la veste, or you see a burger, just go for the fucking burger, dude. Like, I would not recommend you go like, okay, well, I'm in Paris, so I'm gonna go and, when you're on vacation, you kind of feel like, a little risky. I'm gonna take the risky choice. I'm gonna go with the roasted pigeon. And you go with the roasted pigeon and you just get sick for 3 days. And you regret the travel, and you regret taking risk. So you never take a risk again, and your life is over. I've been in the best restaurants in the city and the worst ones. And I think the worst ones are always located in the high touristic places, and I've never been back. And in the best, very cute restaurants, very small, and the food here gets really, really good. Obviously, for shopping, if you're looking for shopping, I would recommend, depends on your budget, but Avenue Montaigne is probably where you have the most high luxury stores, where you can get the most shopping. But once you go through Avenue Montaigne and you go through one of the streets on the sides, you can get some of those stores here and there. This is where I usually buy my stuff. I could recommend you Galerie Lafayette, but here it's a more of a personal thing more than anything, because Galerie Lafayette, it gets very, very full and it gets super annoying, the people there. And it's such a space, it's a tight space, so you really do feel when there's like a lot of people there. And I think it's one of the few malls in the whole city that's closed. For activities in Paris, recommend you kind of go outside a little bit of the city, maybe explore outside. In the 9th, you have the Opera, which is cool to go if you get tickets. You have cinemas here, you have theaters, so you have a lot of activities for that, for film, and for that, if you're into that like me. A lot of historical places here, a lot of historical shots, movies, whatever. I would seriously just recommend you go to the middle of the city, which is the 1st or 2nd arrondissement, Louvre, and you just get lost, and get lost, like in a good way. Just get lost in the city, just walk around, and you'll find like stores here and there, and then you can pinpoint your way. This is what I would recommend. It's kind of like the most, it's kind of the most ridiculous one, because it's just like, just get lost. Just walk around. You don't need to know. Just walk around. But it really benefits in the long run. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya, man.